Hi, welcome to the Blue Shack. My name's Joe, and today I'm going to be working on another project. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be making another ring. It's going to be serial number T500018. I still have enough of a hole in there, so I don't need to drill anymore. I do need to decide what size I'm going to make, and then bore it out to the size. Again, look at my chart here. I want to go with a size 12, which is 21.4 millimeters in diameter. And we're at 21.1. All right, so I need to remove another 0.3 millimeters. So now's when I start only taking small passes, or small amounts off per pass. All right, that is 21.34. So I need to be 21.4. I'm not even going to change the setting on my cross slide, my cross feed. I'm going to turn up the speed of the lathe, the RPMs, and feed it by hand very slowly. .4 on the nose. All right, got the inside of the ring sized correctly. Now I want the wall of the ring to be, for this particular ring, to be about 2 millimeters thick. So the next thing to do is to start working on the outside of the ring. And I would say that the ring itself sometimes tells me what it wants to become, but quite honestly, it's metal, and machining is precise, so it's human error on my part. Sometimes the ring comes out differently than what I intended to start with. Okay, the next step in this ring making, for this particular ring anyway, I don't always do it exactly the same. I'm going to make passes on the outside of the ring. So I'm going to make a few passes until I get this the thickness down to roughly 2 millimeters. It's at 2.3 millimeters thick, and that's fine for the design of this this particular ring. The next thing I like to do is to bevel this inside edge before I start finishing the inside of the ring. I give it a little tiny bit of a bevel or a chamfer just to smooth it out, make it go on the finger easier, make it round off easier, so forth. Okay, give it a nice little bevel or chamfer, whichever you want to call it. Probably a bevel, I guess, is more accurate of a term for it. All right, the next thing to do is to start finishing the inside of this ring. I'm going to start off with 240 grit sandpaper and then work my way up to 320, 400, 600, then 1000 grit, 2000 grit, and then after that polishing. For this, I'm just going to use the coarsest polishing compound, and then once the ring is completely done, I go back and hit it with coarse again, and then medium, and then fine to get it really polished up nice. Here it goes. Oh, for sanding and polishing, I try to remember to put on a face mask. I don't want to breathe metal dust or sandpaper dust, etc. And you can see it's starting to get smoother, a little more finished looking. 600 grit. Okay, it is feeling pretty slick and smooth, but not necessarily shiny yet. That's where the polishing comes in. Okay, here goes. Shininess of it there. I don't know if the light is good enough for that. I suppose technically it could still be considered a pipe or part of a rod. So it's time to turn it into a ring, and that is done by parting it off. Now this takes quite a bit of force, so I use a lot of oil doing this and patience. is the beginnings of our ring. Next thing to do is get it on a mandrel and get rid of that burr on the back. Putting on the boring bar, what I need to do next is kind of at the same time get rid of this chip or burr or whatever you want to call it. Get rid of that, and kind of at the same time or right after that, do another 60-degree bevel or chamfer on this back side to match the one on the other side. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure that this is running true before I go any further. Okay, that didn't take off very much at all. So I'm going to zero this and take 1.5 inches in towards the, from the edge in, and at a depth of, probably 0.25. I may even go 0.3. Because this is a little bit bigger than 2 millimeters thick. I'll probably go 0.3 millimeters. I want that inside band to be fairly pronounced. All right, time to flip the ring around and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, that's the basic shape of the ring. Next is to sand these edges and the remaining inside part on the other side. The outside band is going to be getting a little more work done to it here in a little bit, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, time to hit that edge with some polish. Same treatment for the other side. Now this is the inside edge that I have not finished at all yet, so I'm going to be hitting it a little more thoroughly this time. Got the basic ring structure finished. Now it's time to pull it off and take it over to the disc sander. All right, I'm all set up over at my disc sander, and I'm going to give it some really small facets. Titanium gets hot really fast, so I have a dunk tank with water in it here so I can cool it down between each little pass. This is going to be really noisy and take a while, so I'm not going to talk much during it. Okay, it looks like I've got everything all the way around. That's what it looks like so far. Now to take it back over and give it some more polishing. I'm back over at the lathe and ready to finish polishing this thing up. I'm just going to polish these outside edges and the inside really good. I want to leave the band looking, it's kind of got a frosty look to it. I'm going to leave it like that. I already did the coarse polishing with it, so I'm going to do medium. Now, while I've got the ring off, I'm going to hit the inside of it. Okay, now on to fine. Here we go. Getting pretty shiny. Now I'm going to do the other side before I do the inside, because I want to do the inside last in case it gets scuffed up by the mandrel. The mandrel is made out of aluminum, but it can still scuff a little bit. Okay, time to finish up the middle, the inside of the ring. Nice and shiny. The next step is to get it ready to anodize, and for that I need to step away for a minute and go grab some cleaning supplies to get it nice and clean, and then I'm going to mask off that middle band and then anodize. I hit the ring with some isopropyl alcohol to get all the oils off. The next thing I'm going to do is mask off the center band so that won't get anodized. Okay, now to do the same to the other side. All right, time to anodize. We'll meet you back in the lab. Now for the last step, I've already got the ring all cleaned up with alcohol and dry. Last step is to anodize. I've got the bath already ready for it, which is distilled water and baking soda. Pretty simple solution. And I'm going to hit it with 63 volts, which should turn all the exposed metal to a gold color. Get that in there. I've already got it set to 63 volts. Try to lay it down so you can see it. I'm going to have to make sure it makes good contact, so I'll be moving the ring around. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's starting to turn that color. Nice gold color there. Now to bounce it around a bit and work the bubbles off, make sure it's completely anodized all the way around. And I will be visually inspecting it before I pull the tape off. And hopefully when I pull the tape off, it will still be natural titanium. This is not electroplating. It's not putting actual gold on there. This is anodizing, which basically forms a really thin, hardened oxide layer on titanium. It's one of the really cool and bizarre properties of titanium is it can change all kinds of different colors depending on the voltage. I'll take a look at it all the way around. Got to make sure I got my power off. Now I'm taking a look, see if I can see any spots where it is not anodized, and it is looking pretty darn good. So now to peel off the tape and see if that band is left unanodized. Guess I should do this under the camera for a reveal, and the reveal will be as big a surprise to me as it is to you. There it is. Looking all pretty. Okay, there's that ring done. Nice and pretty. Take some pictures. I'll see you next time at the Blue Shack. Have a good one.